Welcome to the Travel and Tourism Weekly Podcast, the shows that takes you to all the updates on consumer behavior in travel and tourism industry. My name is Chamathka Janani BA. I'm the host in today's episode. Today we are going to talk about sustainable tourism and its impact on the tourist behavior. Before we dive into today's topic, I want to make sure you are connected with us on all our channels. You can find us on Spotify, where you can subscribe and listen to all our episodes on the go. And you can also join our Discord community where we discuss the latest. And don't miss to join with us. First, we will talk about how the sustainability has influence for tourism behavior in Sri Lanka. First is sustainable tourism. In terms of developing the sustainable tourism, it is considering all environmental, economical and social cultural factors in development of the tourism sector in the country. Having an appropriate balance among these three factors will directly impact for maintaining long-term sustainability in the country as well. This is highly focused on obtaining the environmental protection by optimum usage of environmental resources and maintaining essential ecological process. Having social equity by ensuring social cultural authenticity and building and conserving cultural heritages, and having economical growth and well-being in each Sri Lankan. So the sustainable tourism logo that Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority (SLTDA) and the Ministry of Tourism has created is making Sri Lanka tourism sustainable, sharing and caring. I conduct with several interviews with the international tourists, and I found that tourists becoming more interested in the tourism practices. The first interview I conduct with Mr. David, he is from the Great Britain. He said that he was highly satisfied with the greener and fairer packages, and he have optimally enjoyed the Sri Lankan environment, and he had received a great opportunity to spend their leisure times with Mother Nature by observing beautiful waves in nature in Sri Lanka. In addition to that, he told to me Jatwin Yala is also the adhering with sustainable practices to protect our environment, economy and society. Also, he actively seeks out eco-friendly and sustainable related experimental travels, including Yala Safari, Hikadu boat riding for the watching corals, are example for these experimental travels. Further, he believes nature sustainability while also supporting the local tour operators as well. Another sustainable trend in tourism sector is ecotourism. In order to maintain the health of Sri Lanka's natural biodiversity, environmentally friendly tourism is very important. Due to the significant increase in interest in the environmental movement in Sri Lanka, ecotourism attractions are appearing up all across the island. So if you want to come to this beautiful island, learn about its true culture from people who live it daily, and do so while also caring for the environment. Look no further than this destination. Hiking, mountain climbing, canoeing and kayaking are examples of ecotourism activities that provide the greatest possible exposure to the nature while requiring the latest infrastructure. In addition to that, tourist demand for booking Sri Lankan eco-lodge consequently increased after pandemic COVID-19. For example, for the eco-lodge in Sri Lanka, the Rainforest Eco-Lodge in Sinharaj Rainforest, Gallai Lodge in Southern Eastern region, the Flameback Eco-Lodge located on the banks of the Veeravilla Lake, Dreamcliff Mountain Resort can be recognized. Having an increase in demand for these eco-lodge among the local and international tourism has created a lot of job opportunities for the villagers. According According to the chief person in the rainforest ecology, he said that more than 80% of jobs in hotels fulfilled through the skill villages. They have big platform for show off their cultural activities in front of the tourists. As per interviews with International Tourism in Dreams Cliff Mountain Resort, he said that it has natural perceived ecosystem that is becoming increasingly valuable in the fight to conserve Sri Lankan biodiversity. And another tourist I spoke, named Mrs. Stephanie Zana from Germany, she has emphasized the importance of supporting local businesses and communities. She mentioned that he enjoys trying traditional cuisines and participating events and purchasing souvenirs from the local artists rather than buying mass-produced items. This way she feels like she is contributing the local economy and perceiving the cultural heritage of the destination. Another thing is very important. When you are returning home after the holiday, you think you will probably bring home a few souvenirs. So it is important that you choose what you can bring with you. And in additionally, I would like to give the advice. Please be aware with when you purchasing souvenirs from the Sri Lanka. Hence, please refer rules and regulations pertaining to the Sri Lankan Archaeological Department. Because some items which is made before 1850 and anything more than 50 years old, rare books, palm leaves, manuscripts and the anthropological materials which defines as antiques, you cannot export without permission from the National Department of Archaeology. So please be aware with these rules and regulations because you cannot export without permission in the archaeological department in Sri Lanka. Apart these positive influences have some of the negative consumer behavior patterns of affected to the sustainability. Much of the child prostitution in Sri Lanka occur due to the child sex tourists. Offenders who travel for the primary purpose of exploiting vulnerable children in the countries with the less constructive laws, often with the use of the local intermediary. However, there are the growing number of child prostitution crimes being conducted by the local travelers as well. Even through poverty, lack of education, parental care, physical and mental abuse in the households have been the competing factors that have led to children entering the child prostitution trade. There are the children who are the volunteering engaging in it due to the lucrative nature of the industry. Sri Lankan beach boys is the popular term that has come into the use due to the heavy child prostitution that takes place in the west, south and other coastal region of the country. The Child Protection Authority, however, acts as the primary establishment in the implement mechanism to ensure the protection of children and the women in Sri Lanka. And the Sri Lanka also has the national guidelines for the management of children abuse and the neglect. And the travelers with the proper knowledge of any forms of malpractices in the terms of child exploitation in any part of the country that they intend to visit, and so ensure that all its travelers engage in activities that has no contribution of child labour. Such activities are avoided at all costs and the travelers are made aware of the convenient measures that may take place in the certain tourist areas of the country. In case of these awareness, tourist behavior, decisions and consumer patterns are utterly changed in very optimistically and it helps to maintain the proper sustainability practices. Eventually, after these interviews, it's very clearly that sustainability is becoming and very important factors for the tourists and their behavior pattern. As a tourist expert, I believe tourists are now making international choices to pursue the environment, and businesses that prioritize sustainability will benefits to the long run. And one of these characteristics of tourism, it is extensively linked with other sectors. These linkages can be strengthened through the economic and development and poverty reduction, as well as sustaining the tourism and provision of infrastructure can also be the significant for the poor people as well as for the general economic growth. This is the end of our today episode. I hope you have learned something new. So please subscribe and like our channel and leave your valuable comment in our comment box. And you can find us on the Spotify and Discord as well. So we will meet on next week episode. So thanks for watching.